Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's webinar that we're calling the Popular Diets Digest. We're going to do something a little different this month, and that I've asked Lisa Lindenberg, who's a co-worker of mine. We've worked together for the past 10 years. I've asked Lisa to come in and actually do this presentation for me this month because Lisa happens to be an expert in nutrition. She has a certification in nutrition. She's currently completing her master's degree in human nutrition, and she's someone who's really put a lot of time and effort into understanding the different diet crazes that are going on out there. And so I knew that she'd have a lot to offer us. So I'm really looking forward to Lisa's information. And Lisa, we're really grateful for your time this month. And so with that, take it away.
Thank you, Gary. I'm really excited to be here today to discuss some of the most popular diets. Now, we could talk for several hours about the multitude of diets that are available. Low carb, high fiber, low sugar, keto, paleo, vegan, raw, and on and on. But for our current discussion and to keep our webinar to a reasonable time frame, we are going to focus on 4 of the most popular diets, what they are, where they originated, what they claim to do for us, and the proven or unproven effectiveness. So let's get started. We're going to start today by talking about the paleo diet. So what is the paleo diet? Well, paleo is short for Paleolithic, which refers to the Paleolithic period or Stone Age, which is approximately 2 million years ago to roughly 12,000 years ago. This group was also called hunter-gatherers. The paleo diet is based upon everyday modern foods that mimic the foods of our pre-agricultural hunter-gatherer ancestors. So essentially what that means is what foods can we eat today that would mimic their diet. The diet is broken down as far as protein, carbohydrates, and fat in this fashion. 20 to 35% of the total calories from protein, so things like your meats, eggs, fish. 35% to 45% of the total calories from non-starchy vegetables and fresh fruits. 20 to 30% of total calories from high-quality fats, things like olive oil, walnut oil, macadamia nuts, avocado. The paleo diet eliminates saturated fats and refined vegetable oils. It also does not include cereal grains, legumes, dairy, refined sugar, potatoes, processed foods, and refined vegetable oils. The paleo diet originated when Dr. Loren Cordain published his book called The Paleo Diet in 2002. He did a lot of research on our hunter-gatherer ancestors, and he also used research from Dr. Boyd Eaton, who was a famous researcher on Paleolithic nutrition. And he also used information from dentist Weston A. Price. Now, Weston A. Price, he observed the diet and health in numerous non-westernized populations, including the Amazon Indians and the Alaskan Eskimos. What he found was that wherever and whenever modern diets were adopted by these cultures, their health began to decline. So what does the paleo diet claim to do? First, it claims to be an optimal diet for diabetes prevention due to the low glycemic foods on the diet. It claims to have a low cardiovascular disease risk due to omitting trans fats, and it claims to reduce the risk of chronic disease. So, has the paleo diet proven to be effective? There have been numerous studies done. I found many in my research. One of the studies was published in the August 2015 European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and it compared the findings in participants consuming a paleo diet with participants on a diet based on recommendations by the American Diabetes Association, which contained moderate salt intake, low-fat dairy, whole grains, and legumes. The study found that consumption of a paleo diet improved glucose control and lipid profiles in people with type 2 diabetes compared with the other group that consumed the diet that contained moderate salt, low-fat dairy, whole grains, and legumes. So very good news for the paleo diet. The next diet we're going to explore is the keto diet. which is short for ketogenic. Ketogenic refers to a state of ketosis. What is ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic process where the body burns fat instead of glucose for energy. The keto in the word ketosis comes from the word ketones, the name of small fuel molecules in the body. Ketones are an alternative fuel for the body produced from fat we eat, and it's used when blood sugar or glucose is in short supply. The ketones are produced when you eat very few carbs and only moderate amounts of protein. Hence the plan. The plan is high fat, moderate protein, and low carbohydrate. The plan was developed in 1923 at the Mayo Clinic by Dr. Russell Wilder as a treatment for epilepsy. He had found that fasting reduced and even eliminated seizures in a high percentage of his patients. So he developed a nutritional plan that would mimic fasting. This protocol was used for several decades as the main treatment for epilepsy until pharmaceutical interventions gradually replaced it. The diet resurged in 1994 and has gained popularity since then. So the keto diet consists approximately of 5 to 10% of calories from carbohydrates, 20 to 30% of calories from protein, and 60 to 80% of calories from fat. What are some of the claims of the keto diet? It claims to reduce your hunger. It claims to reduce your blood sugar by eating a high-fat diet, and it claims to reduce inflammation. So, has the keto diet lived up to its claims? In my research, I did find numerous studies that compared the effectiveness of a low-carb ketogenic diet program with those of a low-fat, reduced-calorie diet. In one study that was published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, they took 120 overweight participants with high cholesterol and they divided them into two groups. One group followed low-carb keto diet, and one group followed a low-fat, reduced-calorie diet. They measured body weight, body composition, cholesterol levels, and tolerability of the diet. The study concluded that compared with a low-fat diet, the low-carb diet program had better participant retention and greater weight loss. They also found that in the low carbohydrate group, triglyceride levels decreased more, and HDL cholesterol levels, which is the good cholesterol, increased more with that group than the low-fat diet group. Very promising results from the keto diet. The last diet we're going to explore today is the vegetarian diet. Vegetarian diet focuses on plants for food, so this would include fruits, vegetables, dried beans, grains, seeds, and nuts. There is no single type of vegetarian diet. Instead, vegetarian eating patterns usually fall into the following groups. You have lacto-vegetarian, which includes plant foods plus dairy products. You have the ovo-vegetarian, which includes plant foods plus eggs. The pescatarian diet, which includes plant foods plus fish and seafood. And the vegan diet, which excludes all meat and animal products. Most anthropologists agree that early humans would have eaten a predominantly plant-based diet. Prehistoric man ate meat, of course, as we observed in the Paleo diet, but plants formed the basis of his diet. It really wasn't until the 60s that vegetarianism moved into mainstream American life. Then that movement's growth picked up speed in the 70s when a young graduate student named Frances Moore Lape wrote a book called Diet for a Small Planet. In this book, she advocated a meatless diet not for ethical or moral reasons, but because plant-based foods have much less impact on the environment than meat does. And that really calls attention to the first claim of the vegetarian diet, which is that it reduces damage to the environment. Other claims are that it lowers your cancer risk and that it lowers your cardiovascular risk. So, has the vegetarian diet been proven effective? As with the other plans, I found multiple studies on the vegetarian diet, and one study was published in the International Journal of Obesity and Related Metabolic Disorders, And this study compared body mass index in 4 diet groups: meat eaters, fish eaters, vegetarians, and vegans. And this study was huge. There were over 37,000 healthy men and women from ages 20 to 97 in this study. And what they looked at was the BMI, which is the body mass index. And the BMI was highest in the meat eaters and lowest in the vegans. In addition, the non-meat eaters, especially the vegans, had a lower prevalence of hypertension than meat eaters, largely because of differences in BMI. So once again, there's favorable studies for this plan, the vegetarian plan. So there you have it, a breakdown of 4 of the most popular diets. There are so many more that we could have explored today, and hopefully you've gained some knowledge from hearing about the 4 we presented. Now I'd like you to think about, what is my best diet or eating plan? And before considering a new program, look at the following. Think about your goals. Are you wanting to lose weight, increase performance, have more energy, sleep better? What's my lifestyle like? Do I have health conditions I need to consider, such as diabetes, heart disease, or allergies? Do I have food preferences? Is there a budget that would make my life more conducive to one plan more than another? For long-term success and adherence, I really feel like the most important aspect is likability. A diet should include foods that you like, that you would enjoy eating for life, not ones that you can only tolerate over the course of a plan. Don't feel like you have to box yourself into one plan. I personally follow a combination of Paleo and Keto with Mediterranean mixed in sometimes. Lastly, focus on progress and small steps. As the Tanzanian proverb says, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Whatever plan you choose to follow, I wish you the best of health in all your nutritional endeavors.